Hello and welcome to another episode of the Anime Lounge Short Flights. I'm your host Lance here to talk about Undead Unluck episode 8. And if you follow me up to this point, you guys know that I am reading the manga along with the anime, and I can help compare and contrast anything that might be different. And today's episode is going to cover chapters 15 through the beginning of 17. And everything is pretty much 100% right on the nose. Uh, the way they handled the end of this episode and the way chapter 17 is kind of structured is a little bit different, but I'll get to that in the end. So, lot happened today. Undead Andy, he's got another level to him. We saw his card come out earlier in the series. Very little change. He just got a power boost, really. But this time the card comes out and he's a whole different person. He's got a whole separate personality. And his name is Victor. Didn't think that he would actually get a whole separate person inside him. And he's talking to Andy inside his own mind. So it's interesting that they can carry a conversation with the other two. I wonder if we're ever going to get an opportunity when we eventually go back to Andy, if he can still communicate with Victor even though the card's in, or does that card just suppress him 100%? I'm gonna assume the card suppresses him 100%. I don't think there's any kind of communication the other way around. Let's go back a little bit to the beginning. We get to learn Shen's true ability. It's called Untruth. And the way they described it was any conscious thought that goes into the target, the enemy, he can make it do the opposite, basically. So if your opponent wants to come closer, he can make you go further and, opposites, really. It's kind of strange that it's called Untruth versus like opposite. I don't know because maybe that sounds weird, but I guess it makes a little bit of sense. So he's really cool. And another thing about Shen is he's got an artifact as a weapon. So all of our union members might have special abilities through artifacts. And Shen's is a staff. I don't remember the name of it, but the whole idea is that this artifact staff can expand to any size that it wants to, which is crazy. And which really comes into play on how they ended up uh, really taking down Spoil because Spoil's main body is the one that was emitting the Spoil effect, and the head could, for whatever reason, stretch away from its body. So the head had nothing to do with the Spoil effect. So that's why he was able to be near it and attack it with no problems. But when the head went back to the body, that's when it was a problem. So Shen's artifact was able to just start attacking Spoil from a distance because he can just slap the fuck out of him or something. So I thought that was kind of funny. But in the end, it didn't matter because really that didn't do too much. We needed to kill him and get his core. So they brought that awesome idea to bring him into space. I don't know. I mean, Unluck got the idea that nothing spoils in space, so just put him in space. So we just so happen to have an artifact that can push him up there. Pushed him up there, and Andy goes up there, takes out his card, becomes Victor, and then just goes completely nuts on him. Spoil, who's been a problem in the past two episodes, is taken care of with such ease as soon as Victor comes out. Victor is a badass. He splits himself into multiple bodies. And in space, he split himself into two additional bodies, cut up Spoil like it's nobody's business, took the head as the core, and sent it back down to the ground level to be zapped up back to the Union. So I thought that was pretty cool. So, Union, he's taking care of one of the missions. Awesome. But Victor wants to continue having fun. So he's going to try to attack everybody. Now, I wonder if I mean, it's pretty clear. His intentions are to kill, but I wonder if it's more just to have fun and just wreak havoc. And I wonder how I don't know. I think I want more information from him because I wonder if he's just trying to have fun. But anyway, the episode ends with Union coming to attack. Chapter 16 in the manga is the introduction of Union at the very end, and chapter 17 is when Union starts to fight. So I was a little surprised that this episode 8, actually had some of the Union fighting. I thought that was going to be a clean break for the anime to just introduce what's going to happen next. But we actually got some fighting with the Union, and I thought that was pretty cool. So everybody starts attacking. Victor has no problems taking on everybody. He's getting caught up, but he's regenerating like nobody's business. And we learned maybe a potential weakness to him. You know, he got cut in half by that scientist guy and said, "Yeah, I've been working on you for 10 years, and your regeneration abilities slow down when you get burned." So I wonder if that's going to come into play a little bit more. Well, I like it. I like that he has a weakness, but it's not enough because he just shoots a finger away and he regenerates from that finger and he's back to normal. Really cool. I like Victor's freaking amazing. He's so OP. I can't wait to see more out of him. So this is kind of where the anime and the manga diverge just a little bit. I didn't read all of 17. I just wanted to read till what I got caught up in the anime. So at the end of this episode, we get a standoff between the sword woman and the samurai guy, both from the Union. So two swords versus Andy, and they're about ready to attack him. In the manga, I don't remember his name, but the little swift boy from the Union uh, picks up Unluck because she's about to get shot with Andy's or Victor's finger bullet, and she's about to die. But she's saved by one of the Union members, and he zips her away, and she just wants to go back and return the card back to Victor to turn him back into Andy. And while that's all happening, Victor explodes himself a little bit, multiplying himself into like 8 different Victors, and he attacks everybody. So instead of the two sword users fighting Victor in the end of the episode, he's instantly split off and he's trying to fight everybody in the Union. So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen after this quick standoff. And I'm sure that's how episode 9 is basically going to start out. But that's just a little bit of different that was in the manga right away. So I can give you guys that much. Can't wait to see more action out of Victor. He is so awesome. He's truly become such an interest, and he's amazing. I love it. So, what did you guys think of this episode? And I'm gonna just leave it there because it's gone long enough. So I will see you guys next week.